How do we consume the woman? Not filleted, not fried, but magnified through art. My name is Maria Lourdes, and what I've come to talk to you about today is the consumption of the woman through artistic language, image, expression, and the woman artist herself. Throughout my experience as a woman artist, consumption has been a thoughtful concept for me, tricky even. For a while, I used to think that consumption was my means of acceptance, consumption being the perception left upon one's mind by the medium at hand, whether that be visual art, music, film, etc. Ever since I was a young child showing my parents drawings and paintings, I used to think that their acceptance of my art was what kept me going as an artist. That was until my drawings changed from cats, dogs, houses, and suns to nude women as subjects, and sexualization became a factor. I used to paint at school, and one of the things that made me realize how much really my art was going to be sexualized was my male classmates coming up to me as I worked. They would always tell me, wow, they really liked the breasts. Aside from this, I would also experience sexualization of myself as an artist. When I would ask to collaborate with fellow male artists, my interest was taken as sexual interest. They would try to use art to get close to me in other ways. And one time asking a fellow male artist to collaborate with me in modeling for figure drawing, he told me that he wouldn't do it unless I was naked with him. That comment really hurt me and told me that my body was more important to my collaborator than my creation. I felt imprisoned in my own creativity. The stigma around me painting women's bodies became clear when I was told that my work was too explicit and not to be shown to younger audiences. Not for children, but why? How is it that the woman's body is distorted into such an explicit image that children cannot view the likeness of their mothers? Then I wondered, how is it that children who cannot view my art can listen to music on the radio that hypersexualizes and casts women into society as objects? How is it that children can participate in the mass consumption on Instagram of plasticized photos and impossible body standards at the cost of the woman? Then I wondered, what is my participation in all of this? What is my role? How can I protect the woman in my own ways of consuming? Is there even a way? This was my exigence to start looking for answers. So I went on a journey throughout my own mind, my peers' minds, and of the late Audre Lorde to find answers. There are flawed ways of consuming that we impose upon the woman. Firstly, we deny the woman autonomy to choose sexuality or asexuality in art. Instead, we force sexuality upon the woman by plasticizing her image and therefore making it pornographic. In Audre Lorde's uses of the erotic as power, Lorde states, "The erotic has often been misnamed by men and used against women. We have often turned away from the exploration of the erotic as a source of power and information, confusing it with its opposite, the pornographic." The difference between erotic and pornographic is that erotic is sexual with intention and emotion, whereas pornographic is sensation without feeling, cut out for the man's pleasure with no regard for the woman as a whole whatsoever. The problem with not knowing the difference is that we force women to deny the erotic altogether, thinking of it as pornographic. This pornographic view turns into what we call explicit, and I quote, "We allow the objectification of the woman and deny self-pleasure, hence the stigma around women masturbating. And when women artists try to reclaim themselves through art, the image is mistaken as pornographic because that is all we are represented by. And there is no room for artistic vision. We encourage the fast mass consumption of the woman in image and media. Viewers sexualize this right away. But the gag is, nudity is not an invitation to sexualize. Nudity is truth. Nudity is being seen without image, scarlet letters, or accolades. Nudity is imperfect. Pushing for the woman's body to be perfect is pushing for the woman to be performative for the male gaze, which is not what we want. What we want is for women to be respected through their art and the language in which we digest their image. For example, I say woman versus artist, woman subject versus female artist, female subject, because a woman is a mind, a woman is a soul. A woman is an emotional and sentient being that deserves inclusion free from repression and hypersexualization. But still, it happens. We force boundaries on the woman artist. We say that on Instagram, it's okay for a bikini photo to get billions of likes, but as soon as a nipple is shown, photos are taken down and reported. We say that it's okay for the woman to be sexualized, but as soon as she does anything sexual for her own liberation, she's criticized. Nowadays on Instagram, everyone is an artist, posting things. Nowadays on Instagram, everyone is a consumer, liking, sharing things. But how do we break the cycle of consumption in a negative way, repression and hypersexualization of women? We can start by doing this. View woman artists' work openly, resist the urge to judge and rate bodies, but appreciate their imperfections. Do not ask for disclaimers or apologies about nude work. Read our woman artist statements to develop a good second lens through which we may view art, and be conscious of the internalized repression society holds against women, to take steps towards liberation. What is liberation? Liberation is giving women sexual autonomy, interpreting the erotic as power, not pornographic, interpreting the nude as pure, not explicit, freeing the woman as a muse to herself rather than as a commodity to the public. The woman artist is human. The woman subject is human. And all humans deserve liberation. A friend of mine once told me, art is not a luxury, but a necessity in which we express our lives and dreams into thought and then action. Take action now. My dream is of liberation. I would like you to liberate yourself now. View now with new eyes. Now is the time to listen to the woman through her art, for her voice has been silenced for too long. Thank you.